Ever since Ukraine's failed counteroffensive last October, Russian forces have been slowly grinding westwards. In February, the Donetsk city of Avdiivka fell after Ukrainian forces found themselves surrounded and short on ammunition. The coal mining town of Vuhledar was next. After 2 years of bitter fighting, Kyiv's forces once again decided to retreat as Russian aircraft pummeled their lines with deadly glide bombs. Now it's the city of Pokrovsk, once home to 60,000 people, that's in Moscow's sights. It's taken them a year to push the Ukrainians back just 27 miles, but Russian troops, the red on this map, are now less than 2 miles from the edge of the city. Pokrovsk is strategically very important. It's close to the front line and serves as a major transportation hub for the Ukrainian army along this sector. But it's what lies beyond Pokrovsk that's the most dangerous thing for Ukraine. The city is a gateway to the rest of the Donetsk region, and there's not much beyond it. If the Russians can take this city, they could feasibly turn north and head towards the region's administrative capital, Kramatorsk. Vladimir Putin has stated that taking the rest of Donetsk is one of Russia's 4 main war aims. Moscow annexed part of it in 2014 after a rigged election. If Russian troops can push further westwards, they could try and reach the border of Donetsk and Luhansk, the 2 oblasts that make up the Donbass. That would give the Russian president the leverage he wants if there are going to be any sort of peace talks next year. But while it might be a territorial victory for Russia, the cost of taking Pokrovsk has been staggering. It's estimated Russia has suffered 150,000 casualties in this campaign alone, about the same number of soldiers that it sent to invade Ukraine in 2022. This month alone, 20,000 Russian troops are said to have been killed or wounded fighting for Pokrovsk. And with them, thousands of pieces of equipment have also been lost. Ukraine says 582 tanks, more than 1,200 armoured vehicles and 90 artillery systems have been destroyed. That's enough to equip 5 mechanised divisions and more than Germany's entire losses during the Battle of Stalingrad in 1942. So what can the Ukrainians do? The pressure in Pokrovsk has forced commanders to redeploy troops from other parts of the front and from other branches of the military to try and strengthen the city's defence. Incredibly, Ukraine's only coking coal mine, 6 miles to the west of Pokrovsk, is still functioning. Ukraine's steelmakers union has warned that if Russian troops seize it, steel production could fall by 3 million tonnes, 40% of Ukraine's yearly output. If Ukrainian troops do end up withdrawing, as they did in Avdiivka, then the Russians will have to pause and consolidate. And that, say some military analysts, could be an opportunity, a moment for the Ukrainians to counterattack and inflict losses on exhausted Russian units. 1/5 of all Russia's casualties have come trying to take this city. Moscow can't sustain these losses of men and equipment indefinitely, or indeed push much further into Ukraine. It's already having to use tanks from the 1950s. The fate of Pokrovsk could well be pivotal to how the war unfolds in 2025. Simon Newton, BFBS Forces News. Thanks for watching. For more from BFBS Forces News, like and subscribe to our channel.